Hello, chat. It's us. Yojo. This is Magic Fish Radio. I think I said it right. Did I say it right? I'm out of practice.
Yojo.
Yojo. This is Magic Fish Radio, and we do tabletop RPG streams on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Content warning for tonight's game. If you can't tell, well, gore and lots of gun violence, probably. And just in case anyone is unclear about the concept, one can play with guns in a totally make-believe simulated setting that has no semblance on real life, and have vastly different views on gun control in real life. So, yeah. Sane gun laws, please. Even if my character in particular doesn't seem like she would share those views. And we have new things for you to buy for us with channel points, including a player monologue option, which we have not done before, but I thought this would be amusing to someone. We'll see who. Although I have put limits on that one, so we don't end up 3 hours of monologuing and not actually getting to do the action that we would monologue about.
I've got a copy of Shakespeare somewhere. Worst comes to worst.
No, it's an improvised monologue. You have to talk as your character. Legasp. And, yeah, so, join our Discord. Join our Discord where the things I say make sense, because I can type and edit them. Also, we have an excellent shitposting channel, largely thanks to Mercurqui, but more of our new people are contributing, and it's all just very, very fun and nerdy. But yes, Discord. Oh, and Fennec is a moderator now. So watch yourself, bots. No bots. Except for Sawbones' robot. But that's not a bot, that's a robot.
He's a robot. Butler's a good boy.
He's a robark. And yes, so we'll be doing this for 3 more sessions. We had a session 0 last week. If you want to watch us trying to build characters, I got about halfway through and then had to start from scratch today because I didn't remember anything. I don't know that I'm great at on-screen character creation. But that's in our VODs, if you want to check that out. We will have 3 sessions of this game. And then we will have 4 sessions of some kind of Anime 5e, which I will maybe have a title for at some point this week, so I can start making the promo materials now. Or this week.
We'll discuss that after stream.
Yes, that's what I was gonna ask John today. Great.
Worst comes to worst, I find us an anime title generator.
Okay.
I've already got a couple ideas I need to run by, so.
Cute. And then after Anime 5e, we will be playing a Star Wars.
Star Wars! Lasers go pew pew!
Even though I'm getting out my Mandalorian love with this character, maybe I'll play something similar or different for Star Wars. We'll see if I can play against type without wanting to explode out of character. And yeah, so if you are interested in playing any of the games with us on stream, we are still open to new cast members, especially for Anime 5e. Go to our Discord, check out the link to the casting call form, and apply! As Tuesday nights is going to be not quite rapid fire, but a series of short vignettes of games and storylines. If one is surprisingly popular with players or viewers, we might set it up to do a longer campaign later, but this is our campaign series showcase and trying new games and new to us games, which is why we are doing Essence 20 tonight! Which I think I understand what I'm doing. Anyway, and with that, GM John, over to you.
Hello all, welcome. And as our wonderful channel producer did say, yes, we are playing G.I. Joe the role-playing game, powered by the Essence 20 system, published by Renegade Game Studios. This is the second of the 4 scheduled core books to be released this year. The first of which was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and next on the docket is supposed to be My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and then in sometime in the fourth quarter, Transformers. And if you've been watching this channel for any period of time, you know exactly which one of those I'm looking forward to.
And you know which one John is most already upset over.
That too.
We'll see how My Little Pony happens when it gets here. It'll be okay.
I have a rainbow dash you can cuddle if needed. It's an emergency rainbow dash just for this reason.
I thought this was the test game for Transformers. Okay, I mean, we could do My Little Pony, too. I'll be a goth pony.
You know what? Let's see how much we like Essence 20 as a system
That's fair.
before we do that. Because I would very much like to play a Transformers game. I have tons of adventures in my head for running a Transformers game. And yes, for those of you who are aware, G.I. Joe has a long history of crossing over with Transformers. And because of something a player said to me earlier in the week, yes, there will be Transformers references in here, as well as deep-cut G.I. Joe references. Don't at me, it's going to happen.
Yes, John, I assure you, John is well-versed in the cartoon, comics, and toys, so if you're a G.I. Joe fan and just want to stick around to see some deep cuts, like, stick around.
But you're not all here to hear me monologue.
We're here to hear us monologue.
Exactly. We've got a couple of fantastic point buys down in the deedly doos down there beneath the chat box, because we don't run stuff with money here. We do it with channel points. So by all means, feel free to spend those channel points in ways that can help the party members out. I'm not going to say that they need it, because this will be my first time running the Essence 20. Well, the first time trying to run the Essence 20 system when things don't devolve, because we realized that the pre-made character sheets contained so many errors.
We all might have, some of us might have been a little bit traumatized by a Power Rangers module. But this time we built our own characters, so yay.
So yes.
This is why we will never be sponsored.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, 6 one half dozen the other. Let's have everyone introduce their original Joes to be added to the nearly 600 strong listing of named Joe characters across its existence, which began all the way back in 1962 with the 12-inch tall G.I. Joe figures, which were all basically the same Ken doll wearing half a dozen different uniforms. But yes, starting just below me, Zardoz, if you would so kindly, please.
I am playing Babylon. Babylon is a G.I. Joe Vanguard, which means I get to wear super heavy armor and punch things to death, hopefully. We'll see how that ends up working out for the day. I am, let's see, physical description. Babylon's probably 7.5 feet tall. He leans into the stereotype of hulking berserker. Dark hair, blue eyes, dark skin, probably somewhere in the Middle East.
Alrighty, and then moving right along in the counterclockwise fashion, Fennec, if you would kindly.
Sup, I'm Fennec, she, her pronouns, and tonight I'll be playing Soul Booms, who also uses she, her pronouns. You know, she stands at about, she's a wee lass, you call her, 5'4", you know, bright flaming red hair that's going everywhere with green eyes and freckles all over her face, looking like they just punched her in the morning. Most notably is next to her is about a 6-foot tall robot wearing a little butler's cravat.
Okay, so why did I think it was a robot dog? I don't know why I thought that.
I was picturing a floating drone, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's a floating drone, but it does float like 6 feet up in the air, so that's why she puts it there.
Okay.
That she affectionately calls Butler. And yeah, she's the team's medic, quote unquote. Most of the time, she'd just rather be in the lab.
Right. And Madam Channel Producer, if you would.
This is where I am trying to play against my usual type as a stone cold biatch. I am playing Friendly Fire, which I am assuming is what the kids call irony these days. She is a renegade door kicker. After I finally have seen this movie, very strongly based on the cleric from Equilibrium, as I have always been interested in gun kata as a kind of action fantasy thing, and when I finally saw the damn movie, I'm like, yes. And while mechanically, renegades seem to be barbarians in a weird way, the first thing that Christian Bale does in his first fight scene is kick in a door. So clearly this was meant to be. So mechanically very similar to a barbarian, roleplay wise, stone cold sober, just let me do my job, please. And with the Checkered Past influence, which I think we all have.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
So actually, so during character creation last week, John kept comparing us to a group called the Screaming Eagles, which I saw a little bit in the cartoons and was kind of like, I don't know.
They only got the one episode.
Oh, okay. You can see why.
That was a pilot intended for a spin-off series that was only ever released on VHS with Sergeant Savage and I think the vehicle.
I think, yeah, I saw people in the comments talking about that. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They get a lot more screen time in the comics, and Sergeant Savage himself does get a more prominent role in the third G.I. Joe animated series. I still count Screaming Eagles as the second one. And that was G.I. Joe Extreme.
Extreme.
For you 90s kids that remember that shit.
That was a very confusing cartoon.
Yep. Lieutenant Stone was he was fun, and also nothing quite like seeing what was basically the love child of M. Bison and Vega.
Yeah,
that was the leader of Chaos. He had a silver Vega mask. He had M. Bison's outfit, but it was all blue. He's the three-way love child of Vega, M. Bison, and Cobra Commander. I mean, he was.
I believe you, John. I just don't understand the reference.
Same.
Street Fighter.
We believe you. Okay.
Street Fighter. Anyway, moving right along. Our adventure begins in the modern era, the 2020s. The specific year doesn't matter overly much. But what does matter is the state of the world. The terrorist organizations Cobra, the Iron Army, and Chaos, the three pillars of antithesis to G.I. Joe, have been, in their own ways, wreaking havoc all over the world in one plot or another, sometimes getting in each other's way, occasionally cooperating. Unfortunately, over the course of the past several months, there has been a severe uptick in their terrorist activities. With the death of Cobra Commander at the hand of G.I. Joe deep cover agent Chuckles, it has led to, yes, this is a character. This has led to the Cobra High Council vying for the position of new Cobra Commander, which has led to a bit of a Cobra civil war.
Which has spilled out onto everyone else.
It has not been the boon that certain members of the Joe Congressional Oversight Committee thought that it might be.
I don't know why they thought that.
Yeah.
But in addition to Cobra's uptick in activity under multiple different heads, all vying for the new position and authority, something has also bugged up the butt of the Iron Army underneath a General Blitzkrieg, and the forces of Chaos underneath Iron Claw. They have drastically upticked their motivations towards achieving their own agendas. And it has kept much of G.I. Joe busy on the global stage. The mobile ultra carrier, the USS Flag, has continued its patrols around the waters of the world, trying to handle incidents where it can. And more often than not, the pit is basically being managed by a skeleton crew, with most Joes out on operations wherever they can operate, as G.I. Joe is at this point still a part of the US government, even though technically unofficially. But you three are not out on assignment. You three drew, depending upon who you ask or how you look at it, the short straws. You three are currently working security for General Abernathy, aka General Hawk, as he is about to have a meeting with with certain members of the Congressional Oversight Committee dealing with a potential replacement for G.I. Joe on the global stage. Yes.
Wait, so this means our field commander guy is Hawk.
Hawk is the general in charge.
Yeah, I know. So who do we answer to?
You will always answer to General Hawk in the end.
Well, yeah.
I don't know who's running field command at this particular moment. It's probably not General Hawk.
Yeah.
Which one of you feels like they're best suited to take command of security for General Hawk? Looks like Babylon.
Good job, Babs.
It's either that or it's Butler.
I mean, it's up to you, Babylon.
John, you said we would have a field commander. None of us would have to be leader.
I haven't been in this building in a while.
All right,
Yeah.
Butler. Yep, for leading.
Neither have I. And I never look forward to it. And worst off, I can't believe they chose today. As a point, the two of you have not been working for G.I. Joe overly long, Friendly Fire and Sawbones. So you two don't know the significance of this date. Babylon, you've been with G.I. Joe for a while. And it is... You noticed that there was a somberness among people when they were still in the pit or in one of the satellite offices leading up into this date, especially among the older Joes. And that is because today is the anniversary of the assassination of the second head of G.I. Joe, General Flag. General Flag was murdered during a breach of the pit by Cobra forces in an attempt to free the Baroness and Major Blood. Major Blood gunned down General Flag while he was trying to save the non-combat personnel of G.I. Joe, which is why now every single typist, janitor, line cook that functions in a G.I. Joe facility at any time has basic martial and firearms combat training.
Smart.
And the whole time leading into this meeting, General Hawk has been pissed because General Flag was his friend. He was second in command to General Flag when Flag was running G.I. Joe.
General or major? Sorry, is he major or general? Because you like switch back and
There's
General
two people.
Flag was killed by Major Blood.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I missed. Okay, I got ranks crossed in my. Carry on. Good monologue. Excellent world building. Continue.
Normally at this point, General Hawk and Admiral Keelhaul would be meeting with retired General Joseph Colton, the founder of G.I. Joe, in order to pour one out for General Flag and have a moment of remembrance. And occasionally, other senior members of the G.I. Joe staff who served under General Flag would be there as well, like Duke, Scarlet, etc. But everyone's got a bee's nest buzzing around their head. Cobra's acting up, Iron Claw's acting up, Chaos is acting up. And now the Congressional Oversight Committee is acting up. And so you find yourselves walking through this top secret building. It's obviously not a regular congressional building where they're having this meeting. And you are all eventually brought into a meeting room where sitting there are several members of the Congressional Oversight Committee, five of which are affectionately referred to as the jugglers. Current or ex-U.S. military men and congressional figures who actively seek to utilize their powers for their own gains, and on at least 2 occasions have attempted to wrest control of the United States for their own ploys. However, G.I. Joe could not provide enough evidence to get them arrested. They kept their hands just far enough out of the actual coup.
Of course, hate to see an accident happen to them. Shame tripping downstairs in their old age.
Are all the jugglers here, or are there some of them that are not?
All 5 jugglers are in this room, as well as several members of the Congressional Committee who are innocent of this and are just, politicians.
I'll look over at Hawks and it's like, you think they'll notice if we take out the 5 of them?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
I think if you give me about 5 minutes with what we got here, I could whip up a really fast, untraceable poison.
Friendly's
No.
already
Don't-
checking
no.
out the cameras and the vents, and she's like,
No.
no.
I can
Don't
make
tempt me, Doctor. Don't
I can
tempt
make
me.
that joke. You probably shouldn't.
Ladies, gentlemen, one figure sitting at the head of the conference table with thinning gray hair and a bit of a widow's peak beginning to develop in a dark maroon suit stands up and goes, General, so nice of you to finally join us. Yes, well, things were a bit complicated on the way out here. Lovely of you to pick such an auspicious date for this, as he pulls out his chair and takes a seat. Now then, what's this about you trying to replace us? Less to replace you, General, and more favorably augment the Joe forces. If nothing else, to radically cut down costs. I mean, after all, your Joe personnel do wind up requiring far more medical attention than most other members of the armed services. Yes, because we handle problems most other members of the armed services shouldn't be handling, because they should be focused entirely on protecting America's borders. Whereas we have to contend with things that are not only threatening the United States, but all of our allies and even some of our enemies. Yes, I understand. But we have recently received several pitches for augmentations. Okay, who'd we receive them from? And he turns and he moves his hand to one gentleman who stands up in a dark blue suit, which is, the instant he stands up and you hear the fabric move, it sounds like money. The suit looks far too expensive. Ladies, gentlemen, generals, I would like to present to you, if you will take a look at the folders before you, the examples we're presenting for our fully autonomous action soldiers. And for those of you who take a moment to look over the general's shoulder as he opens up his the file folder that was at his station, you see images of the best way to put it is a skeletal android almost, with a head done very reminiscently in the face in a form of a skull. No fake lips, just the teeth. The rib cage, just a solid mass of metal, which, according to the description there, apparently contains a small nuclear reactor, allowing it to function for months, even years possibly, without needing to power down and recharge.
So, GM, they look like Terminators?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they do.
I've
Which
seen
can
that
also be-
movie.
Oh yeah, they also have the little Cyberdyne copyright seal down there in the image, because he is a representative from Cyberdyne Industries. And before anyone asks me, yes, there's precedent for this.
Oh, I believe you. I
I
can't
believe-
remember the crossover, but I remember seeing it.
You don't have to say that on stream. You can wait to say it to people when they at you on Twitter, and then you will show you have the loreish high ground. John, as the rich people are yammering, I'm gonna use my situational awareness to make sure, that no one else has had the bright idea of trying to snipe the jugglers while we're here. Or snipe General Hawk, to speed up the process of replacing us with Terminators.
Yeah, I was gonna say, while Friendly Fire's doing that, can Sawbones, kind of keep peeking over the shoulder and, with her technology background, try and suss out just how well these things are supposed to run?
Sure. You can roll me an alertness perception check under smarts, and if you're looking down here, you can make a science tech, this would be a technology robotics.
I think I have a perk for this. Edge on smarts when looking for weaknesses, flaws in security, or hidden items.
Yep. So that means you basically roll with advantage, to use a 5th edition term people might be more familiar with.
Okay. So I roll 2d20s plus my alertness is a d4. Did we say?
If that's what you purchased.
A d4, and I also have a specialization in situational awareness.
So you would roll a d2 and a d4.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Sawbones, what was your question?
So I've got a D6 in technology. I don't really have a specialty in robotics, so it'd be the D20 plus...
And the 6.
Okay.
Yes. And if you roll the highest number on your D4, D6, D8, D10, whatever that happens to be for your proficiency die, that's considered a critical success. It doesn't count on the D2 unless you have a perk that allows you to do that.
Okay, so I rolled...
That's a 25.
Okay.
One was an 18 and one was a 2, so I know who is going to dice jail for 1,000 years.
That's jail for 1,000 years.
So it's...
I rolled it.
I add all these together now?
Yes.
So... 18...
I have a 27 on my technology check.
Okay. When it comes to specialization rolling of your proficiency dice, you take whichever one rolled the larger value.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's in your case, you were only rolling the one proficiency die, but when rolling with specialization, for example, if you had specialization in medicine and you had a D8 as your proficiency under science, when you would roll that, you would roll the D2, the D4, the D6, the D8, and you would take whichever one rolled the highest value, which may have been the D4 coming up a 4, whereas everything else came up a 2 or a 3.
Okay, so if I didn't have the specialization situational awareness, I would just roll a D4.
Yes.
Meanwhile, if my alertness was up to a D10 and it was situation, I would roll all of those dice.
Yes, and you would take whichever one gave you the highest value.
And I just add the dice together, or do I also add the essence or the willpower, or is that something else?
You don't add anything else at that point.
So
it's all the dice at this point.
23. 23. Is anyone trying to kill anyone in this room?
As you
in a non-obvious way.
When you look around the room and you see the other special security details for the various members of this table and the people here that are presenting information and options here, you don't notice anything. And you know that the glass in this room, this room wouldn't have glass. This would be that would be a different room here. So there are no windows here for you to worry about someone sniping from inside, but you don't notice any signs of hidden explosives and during your casual cursory glance without having to dig through briefcases.
But there are vents.
There are vents. You're not noticing any hissing noises or strange colored gases. You're not smelling anything out of place.
I didn't really explain what my character looks like. She has a very straight-laced army military kind of demeanor, but she's wearing a long black leather trench coat and is covered in various weapons that are firearmsy and a katana slung across her back. You're not sure if she uses the katana that much based on where it is in relation to all the guns.
Yeah.
But it's, comfort blanket.
Yeah, we'll lean into the G.I. Joe cartoon for this bit when it comes to you all coming in dressed like this, because under normal circumstances, you'd all maybe get your pistols for coming into this meeting for security.
And she's pretty clearly watching the room and watching for threats. and not necessarily paying such close attention to what is being said in the room.
All right. And both of you roll technology checks, and you got what and what?
I
27.
I got a nat 20 plus 5 on the d6 plus so 25 altogether.
Okay.
Do nat 20s? give
Yeah,
any
I was gonna
bonuses?
ask.
No. It's
Okay.
only when you roll the highest value on your proficiency die.
Oh, rude.
Yeah, I know. I think there's a perk that allows you to get it on the 20, but it's one of the things that really requires the most. I have to remember that in regards to the system. But as you're both looking over General Hawk's shoulder, you're both noticing that these things have to cost a fortune to assemble. Like there's no way running these things is more cost effective than running G.I. Joe. And oh wow, I mean if these redacted plans, because they're obviously not giving you the full intel, but if these redacted plans are right, these things are pretty capable of shucking around like Cobra his tanks, which is impressive, but concerning.
She kind of just rubs her chin at that because nuclear power ain't cheap.
Yeah.
So who the fuck do they got an in with to be doing this is her line of thought. And she just kind of stretches a little, makes it look like she's stretching, and like shows off her anarchy t-shirt and just kind of looks at all of them with a smirk and then just goes back to leaning.
Babylon. When you're even through the redacted version of the power core and the internal CPU, something about this design looks off. It looks familiar, but not right.
I will share that quietly with the general.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, you rolled a 27, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be more than high enough for you to actually put this together. This looks very much like the brain module casings that were used by a group of individuals who once upon a time had to transplant much of their organic matter into mechanical frames, suggesting that these advanced autonomous action units may or may not contain organic components that have been redacted from these official files, or are at least based on that technology.
Oh, I'll ask that question.
That's terrifying.
So it's Transformers and Terminators?
Actually going a little bit more GoBots at that point, but that is still within the fiction.
Okay. I forgot I also took the general perk Acute Sense. But you said I couldn't hear any weirdness coming to kill us.
No, not at this moment.
Alright.
I will mention that this technology does not appear to be standardized, and there are odd components that are not listed in these files that look like they should be there.
Are you mentioning that to Hawk or out loud?
I'll mention that to Hawk, and then if he decides to let me go with it, I will make a fool of myself in front of Congressfolk.
I don't know enough about technology, but even I can see that there's stuff here. I mean, obviously they've redacted. They don't want to let out company secrets, especially if we opt not to go with this. But yeah, there's I think we may have to borrow a couple of these files and get them back to the science team. Have Grand Slam, Tunnel Rat, and Haikyuu have a little look over these.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't love it either. The the rest of the meeting goes on for a couple hours, after which another group is about to present another series of items, and you're opening up the second folder and you're seeing outlines for autonomous drone units that are designed to function like jets, and they look a bit more like traditional actual fighter jets, but they're only about 7.5, 8 feet long. There are designs for autonomous tanks, which again kind of clock in from the one set of treads to the back, only at about 9 or 10 feet long by comparison to actual tanks.
Like the pack rats?
It honestly, if I had the images and I was cleared to show them, I would do this, like if this were a house game. But basically, if you ever saw Beast Machines, what you're basically looking at are designs for Jetstorm, Tankor, and Thrust. The original drones from Beast Machine.
I don't like that at all.
Oh yes, the instant you look at this, you start seeing bits that are like, okay, I recognized that. You don't even need to roll for this technology check. You recognize there's a lot of stuff here that they definitely have not advanced technology to.
I'll just write a note to General Hawk, not human tech. Be concerned.
Before General Hawk has an opportunity to interact on this, there is a knock at the door, and a very haggard agent enters in. Excuse me. There's a phone call for General Hawk outside. It's rather urgent. Excuse me, gentlemen. Well, actually, no. He referred to him as General Abernathy in this case. He wouldn't be using his call sign, so he refers to him as General Abernathy. That was my fault. And some of the congressmen are obviously annoyed. The two corpo reps watch as they leave, going, "That's fine. We can continue this without the general." And
do I tail the general to watch his back while the actual people who actually understand technology stay to protect the jugglers? Or is that not how this works?
that's your call at this
Yeah.
point. But
I'm sure we have like
I probably just look at Sawbones and Babylon and I just go and
Go.
yeah, I'm sure we have like
Yeah.
some modified
Do we have
ASL that we all
Yeah.
use.
I mean, we're all military. Are we all military trained at some point?
you will have received a measure of military training working for G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe does not necessarily pull solely from the military. They will pull from law enforcement. They will pull from the private sector when there is someone that has the skills they actively need and has the drive and the talent. And sometimes it's people who were just rescued by G.I. Joe who wind up wanting to fight the good fight against those Cobra psychopaths that held them at gunpoint and murdered both of their children, which is the origin story for 3 different Joes across 4 different continuities.
Not quite Sawbones, but
I will
close enough.
ask the committee to wait for the general's return, as
Okay.
I believe his expertise will be extremely valuable for this particular bit of information.
Yeah, I will just quietly follow the general and watch his back. Just in case someone should attack us, which would make this entire meeting process infinitely more interesting to my character.
Yeah. Sawbones will let out a little like droid whistle a la the Space Wars, and then
Please don't
Sorry,
do
am I-
that. Says, you see, if there is a shrill noise, friendly fire physically winces.
okay, then she would have having worked with friendly fire, she would modify it to be like one of the low R2 kind
Thank
of
you.
go the and that's like her code to go follow whichever teammate's splitting off.
Yeah,
'cause
that's fine.
she's got Babylon here to protect her.
So
So-
a saw drone follows me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Butler follows you.
About-
General Hawk steps outside because there's no cell service in here. It's all landlines.
It's
the
a
only
bunker.
way you can. Yeah.
The sad thing is that a bunker is a great way to make sure your victims don't escape.
Mhm.
So
I'm not
And,
worried at all.
General Hawk,
I'm not
Picks up-
worried. I'm prepared.
he picks up the phone and he goes, "Yes." "Oh yes, Dr. Greer. What slow down. What?
Can I hear what
What?
he's saying on the phone?
Make me an alertness
Oh
perception."
God! I said I wouldn't be a Malk this time. God damn it! All right.
Are you gonna lick it with your brain?
Well, I'm gonna eavesdrop on the general's conversation because anything's more interesting than what was going on in there. So I have acute senses, so that gives me and it was it. I wrote notes because I ran out of room on my character sheet.
Please
Acute
make the
sense.
character sheets expand.
Gain an edge when rolling a skill test for alertness. So. This isn't situational awareness, though. This is just eavesdropping.
Yep.
So it's 2 d20s and a d4.
Yep.
Wow. Fuck, I don't hear it. The 120 is also going into the dice jail.
Dice jail for 1,000
I rolled
years.
a 4 on my d20, and 2 on my d4, so that is 6, and I hear nothing. Say, chat, did you know you can buy us rerolls with channel points?
Really? Can you?
Also, in-character
I wonder how that
monologues
works.
and story points. But yeah, rerolls are love. Buy us rerolls.
So you cannot hear what General Hawk is.
The drone makes a loud, shrill noise like, ah! And I just...
You cannot hear what General Hawk hears, but you can read on his face that something has gone
horribly wrong.
terribly, horribly wrong.
And probably not here. Yet.
No.
So,
We now have
He-
a reroll.
so what does Hawk say, as I can at least hear him?
Slow down, Doctor. Slow down. What happened? All right. No. We'll be on our way immediately. Yes, straight away. Stay put. Sit. And you're sure that you're both clear. All right. We'll be along shortly. Click. Friendly fire.
Sir?
Get Babylon and Sawbones. We're leaving now.
Yes, sir. Butler, good. Actually, no, she's, Butler, stay here.
Oh, I
She
would
was-
assume at this point she would have programmed Butler to listen to y'all because they have intelligence. So if Butler understands, it's important for you to stay with
Alright.
the general.
Butler
Butler will come back.
Butler, call the others. We're heading out. Oh, that's right. You have a robot. Surely you have a walkie-talkie with your robot or something.
Oh, she's got like
Yeah.
I'm assuming a little wrist computer that Butler can ping, and just to go against the Jarvis stereotype is like a total Valley Girl accent. Because
like boss, it's time to go.
Exactly.
Okay. So I have to do a Valley Girl accent for Butler, is what you're telling me.
You're welcome.
Thank
You don't
for letting me
have
know this
to.
now.
I just thought of it. You don't have to. That was me being silly. You can just do a regular voice.
Thank you for the reroll, the Fennec Wolfchild, whoever you might be. Those I'm putting those in a pool. Those don't have to be for specific players.
Okay,
If something
well,
needs to be for a specific player, you won't be able to redeem it without typing it in, I think. In theory.
good to know.
So we have a reroll.
Right.
You don't have to do a Valley Girl voice.
I just
I'm
have to
being
keep
silly.
I just have to keep Hawk alive long enough to tell us what's happening.
You said it. It's a thing. So
You really don't have to.
This is for making the cat evil in the Alien game.
like, oh my God, Sawbones, you need to hurry along. Like, the general is super pissed. Like something's gone really wrong.
Right. So she'll like give deuces to Congress and kind of like eye Babylon, because not like just like the peace out, and kind of eye Babylon, eye the plans, and then make her way out, kind of hoping he picks up on that. You have better thieving skills than I do, I think. Bye.
Okay. I will explain. I have a suspicion that something has occurred that requires the general's presence off-site. We will have to pick this up at another time and place. If you will give me the files for him to review, I'll be more than happy to carry them along.
Well, both of the corporal execs basically come out with the same, we can't risk these plans even redacted leaving this room at the moment outside of our hands, etc., etc.
They say to the guy in the
Yes.
mech suit.
Sawbones will stop because she's almost out the door. Turn around. Right. Sorry. Who do you think we are?
Well, no,
Just,
no,
you
no,
know-
no. Then I can probably I'll speak for the general on this one. G.I. Joe is not interested in your particulars if we're not allowed to actually review the technology. This is absolutely in keeping with one of my hang-ups. So kindly have a nice day.
All right, and then you two fuck off out of the room, which annoys some members of the congressional committee, but others.
Oh, I will go and shake hands with all the congressional members before I leave.
In your giant mech suit?
I'm not wearing the mech suit right now. I'm 7.5 feet tall, out of the mech suit.
As you come round and you shake one of the hands of a member of who you know to be the jugglers, retired Air Force General Miles Harris. As you shake his hand, he goes, "For what it's worth, I know what today was. I was outvoted for making it a different day."
And that's why you're at the bottom of the list.
The two of you, fuck off, and General Abernathy is.
Oh, Sawbones makes sure to slam the door on the way out just to be rude as fuck.
We are leaving now. An attempt was made on the life of General Colton.
Okay, let's go.
We are leaving.
Sir?
And you all head off, and you all are then driven by your. Yes.
Do we have a team name? Or do we not have one yet because we're all so new?
You don't necessarily have a team name. There aren't necessarily a bunch of dedicated sub-teams in G.I. Joe. They're usually teams put together by whoever would best serve a purpose at a given time, or they just have to throw enough bodies at it because fucking Cobra invaded New York and was literally just raining down bat troopers over the Statue of Liberty. Call back to the 86 movie opening.
Woohoo! Alright,
yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I told them no for you, by the way.
That's quite impressive. I wish I had recorded it. Too bad I sent Butler off.
We'll discuss that later.
You should know that the last thing they were going to send you, non-terrestrial technology.
Yeah.
Non-terrestrial?
Not human.
Okay. Well, yes, I know what it means. Alright, let's go deal with something I know how to deal with.
So yes, General Colton and a former member of G.I. Joe went to the cemetery to pay their respects to General Flagg, at which point an assassination attempt was made on the General's life.
In the cemetery while he was mourning his lost comrade.
I think
lost protege.
I have zero culture, and I even know that. I know that's fucked up.
Right? I mean, you don't do that to hollow ground. I mean, I don't care what you believe. Someone took the time to, throw the feckin' holy water over it and say the words and, make it all nice and pretty for the ghosties and everything. That's just rude.
Who do I need to go put in the ground?
We're going to find out when we get a report from Dr. Greer, which might cause a bit of confusion for all of you because, as far as you know, Dr. Greer, call sign Doc, is currently out on operations with Flint.
Aren't there two? From what
There are.
Okay.
But you two have spent more time serving with Dr. Carla Greer, aka Doc Jr., though she's only ever called Junior when both she and her father, Dr. Carl Greer, are in the same room and surrounded by Joes.
Okay, so this is Daddy Doctor, not Junior Doctor. That
Daddy
just came out very
War
wrong.
Daddy War
This is Doc Senior.
Okay. That's right. There's two of them. Can we talk about different call signs for family members? It makes it easier. Never mind. Anyways. Moving on.
I lose track of names. It's just a thing.
The young Dr. Greer insisted on taking her father's call sign when he was retired due to extensive injuries that prevented him from serving on the field.
Which is why it's weird we're going to go talk to him. Because we thought
After having left field commissioning in G.I. Joe, he went on to become the personal medical attendant to General Joseph Colton, who is at this point 108 years old.
Technology.
Joseph Colton has also seen a lot of shit in his time.
It's that whiskey. It just pickles you.
I would hope so.
General Joseph Colton is the founder of G.I. Joe, and the organization derives its name from his old call sign from when he served with the action team during World War II.
Wait, so someone tried to snipe the founder of G.I. Joe while he was mourning his protege in a graveyard.
Yes.
With the retired doctor.
Yes.
Wow.
Right? That's just once Sawbones understands all the pieces, she's like, right, okay. So is it just me, or does this seem like highly coincidental to them trying to, replace the shite out of us?
So they're trying to replace us with robots from space?
And I would assume some other sort of fake robot.
And obviously robots can be hacked.
Oh, I would
Well-
imagine these aren't drones.
People can as well, but robots are, I would think, are somewhat more susceptible, and she looks to the two techies.
Well, okay, so it really depends on what you do and if nanites are involved. But okay, essentially, to break it down, yes, Butler's a lot more hackable than I am, but you can still hack a person with certain tech. Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I ever worked on. Anyways, moving on.
The PsyOps division of Cobra has been known for doing just that.
Yep.
But you are eventually brought to a Satellite Joe facility here in Washington, D.C., which does have a dedicated medical unit, and where General Joseph Colton has been brought, though even though he is no longer an active member of G.I. Joe, he is
Once a
still
Joe, always a Joe.
pretty much. And especially for someone of his particular stature and station, you are all brought out, and General Colton steps up, and Dr. Greer is there with his arm currently bandaged up in a sling. And he goes, "General?" And he nods it. Friendly fire, Sawbones. He stops for a moment and makes eye contact with Babylon before giving another slow nod. We arrived at the cemetery at 07:30 this morning to discover that the grave of General Flagg had been exhumed. The grave had been dug up, the body removed from the casket, and as General Colton went in to approach, there was a flurry of laser fire which came in at us. I took one in the shoulder before I was able to tackle General Colton to the ground. He himself had taken 2 shots as well. He is currently being operated on. I obviously can't offer assistance to that. If you wish to speak to some more of the medical staff here, General, they'll be down the hall and waiting for you.
Okay. Well,
Babylon, can I have a word with you in private?
Sure.
You have a question?
yeah. So how long has what was it? Hawks? No, I don't know why my brain
Flag.
is consumed. Flag. Thank you. How long has Flag been dead?
At this point, General Flagg has been dead for timeline to 20, like 22-ish years.
Okay, so she'll kind of look at them. But it's just question. So how long is your? I rest in peace and all that. How he's been dead for what? How? What are we looking at in terms of decon? Doctor to doctor.
22 years.
Two decades, a little over. He's been down there.
So mostly liquid and okay, that's I don't understand why they would want that, but that's highly disturbing. Anyways,
They're making another Serpentor?
I'm sorry, a what?
You're
Genetic.
not there.
Oh no, she's
having
asking
a
us before they go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Genetic experiment Cobra did a while back. Made sort of a crazy little guy.
Cloning, unless he had some kind of enhancements
That too.
on or in him. But I
shouldn't
don't.
have.
This is all before
I
my
don't
know.
time.
So I
I-
assume. No. Yes.
I was gonna say, just given her background with Cobra, does she know Joe? She knows Cobra uses enhancements, but is that common among Joes?
The only times when cybernetic enhancements are really used by Joes are when they absolutely need to replace a piece of the anatomy with something.
Right.
Like when a Joe has actively lost their leg but are otherwise fit for duty, they will often receive a more combat efficient mechanical leg.
Right.
If they are no longer deemed for active duty due to PTSD and other effects, they are given a functional mechanical leg, but not one that maybe necessarily has, the laser pistol built into the knee.
Yeah. So she's just kind of abstract. No, see, what I know of this group and everything, it's more functional cybernetics. It's not really, where Cobra likes to put, the stuff in you. And
not to mention,
General Flag had no augmentation cybernetics.
And given the date they decide to do this, it would sound like a personal grudge or vendetta.
Yeah, but it seems way too coincidental with.
I mean, I hope they're not planning a Serpentor 2.0. That was ugly. Cobra was rarely more effective than when he was leading them. That's unfortunately what led to the London and Paris fires and nearly led us into World War III.
Well, that's science. That doesn't require him to be exhumed on the day he died.
No, but if they're trying to rebuild Serpentor using a replication of their old path, i.e. collecting DNA from some of the greatest military minds who ever lived and using that DNA to create a perfect military leader, then General Flag was one of the finest tacticians that the U.S. government has ever produced.
Then wouldn't they wait until it's not the anniversary of his passing to do that?
Not if they wanted to grab Colton at the same time.
Well, if you look, you all said you got there at what, 7:30 in the morning?
7:30.
Right, 7:30 in the morning. It sounds like it was already dug up, so they probably did it a good. Let's see, grave digging takes a little while, so they probably started a good,
nabbing both
3
of
or
them,
4 in the morning.
That would explain then why they left a trap.
I can dig a grave in about 20 minutes.
All right, listen here,
yes, Babylon,
Terminator man.
We know, Babs, we know.
We ain't talking about you and your shiny bits.
No, but think about it. If this is a Cobra or any of the other various criminal organizations, they have access to the same level of technology that we do, pretty much, or in some cases better. They can do the same thing in the same amount of time.
Yeah, all right, all right. And Sawbones just goes and finds the desk, plops down, spins around in a chair, grabs a notebook, and just starts using her smarts and charting out almost every possibility she can think of, and just kind of waves, I'll make a list, you go do your spy shite.
Okay. And Friendly Fire, are you going to stay with General Hawk as he goes down to receive a report from the medical staff?
Yes, I'm gonna shadow Hawk, especially with the suggestion that they might be trying to nab the body of more than one military commander.
All right, so Babylon, Doc Sr. pulls you aside. Okay. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I've stayed clean. I've stayed out of all of this. As far as I know, there are no other forces functioning on here. That being said, whatever attacked us, this was not Cobra. This was not the Iron Army or Chaos. And it definitely wasn't Wraiths, I can tell you that much.
Did you check with that kid?
I've stayed away from everything related to the Wraiths as per our agreement.
Okay.
I'm quite happy living my life this way and making sure that Carla never finds out about any of this. But what I will say is that these things that were attacking us, they were familiar. They smelled and felt kind of like you.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not. But they were wrong. They didn't stink of age. They stank of time. Look, I was never one of the castery ones. That was never my rank in the organization. But they definitely stank of time. the same aroma that fills when they would try to envision things in the future. They're not old like you. They're
new.
anachronistic.
They shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not ideal.
No, when I tried to pin down a line on them after they started firing on us and we took cover, I heard this sort of whoosh noise, this sort of...
I'll make the sound for him.
You try to replay... No, not quite like that. It was a slightly higher pitch here, decibel slightly off here, and he basically talks you through until you can recreate the noise. It sounds an awful lot like a ground bridge.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
It's a very distinctive sound.
It is.
I have no idea. I look forward to finding out what any of this means in future episodes.
Yeah, Sawbones is just like, right, let's see, they could, cybernetics, maybe,
No.
cloning.
As far as I know, none of your people who are here have any reason to go after General Colt.
No, that's been a pretty well established thing that we don't bother the general.
So, and I really only know you, Dasher, and Metalhawk. So,
I may need to make a phone call in a minute, but that'll be something else.
Look, I just need you to be very clear on this. I'm clean. I have nothing to do with it. And if I had any more information to give you, I would. But they were gone before I had a chance to get a look on them and return fire.
Okay. All right. What are Colton's chances, do you think?
Considering that everything he survived up until this point, I'd give him 40%, which is a lot better than I'd give anyone else at 108.
Yeah.
Well, any other human at 108 anyway.
That's fair.
Wait, was Colton taken, or was
No.
he just severely injured and now he's in the hospital?
He was severely injured, and he is now at a Joe
Okay.
satellite office where he's receiving medical attention.
So none of us have talked to him yet.
No, but
he's in
General
surgery.
General Hawk is currently getting an update from physician staff who aren't currently operating on the general.
Okay.
Here comes the general.
Okay, I will look over at Sawbones. I need to step outside to make a phone call.
She looks up and she's writing demon summoning. What?
I need to step outside and make a phone call. I'll be right back.
Right, take Butler with you. Don't like any of us being alone.
Butler, go stand in the corner.
Go hover in the corner.
Go hover in the corner. Thank you.
Doc Senior comes over, leans over those. That might have to do with the Iron Army if there were cybernetics, but the last time they experimented on a human was General Blitzkrieg and Sergeant Savage.
Hey, I remember
Chaos,
studying those. It was an interesting experiment.
Chaos, they'd really have no reason to go after him. You might have to change demon summoning to eldritch summoning, but the forces of Cobra Law haven't really been active for quite some time. So probably not them summoning their serpent deity.
Probably, just taking a body out of its graveyard. It's bad form. You kind of just want to check all the boxes when you're making a list like this.
Does Sawbones yet have the whole like thread chart on a bulletin board?
So I'm imagining she's kind of does the L thing where she's got both her feet propped up on the desk and crossed, and she's got the pad in the middle, and she's clearly wearing blue jeans and looking every bit like she should not be in a military base, and but she's just making notes and thinking. So, could you describe the lasers? That might narrow it down a bit.
The blaster fire was purple hue, which is really uncommon. Cobra, Iron Claw, Chaos, they all use the same basic laser technology, so their beams are constantly red.
Right. Yeah. Did you guys have any like plasma burns? There we go.
No, it was. It didn't have quite the same melting effect as the plasma casters that are used on some Joe heavy artillery vehicles or on some of the Cobra bombers. This was.
No. I was gonna say it's good to know. Any radiation tests that they ran on you? Any Geiger's counters going off when they were,
Radiation
trying to cover the
tests,
bases?
no radiation tests came up on myself or the general that they've done so far. There's a team that's currently scouting the cemetery itself. You'd have to talk to them to see if they came up with any radiation signatures.
But mind if I? And she kind of points to the bandage. I promise I'll rewrap it. Scout's owner.
No, this is fine. I trained half the medical staff here, so they've got this wrapped just fine.
No, I was figuring if I can look at it, maybe I can tell what it is.
Right.
Surely they did imaging.
Sure. Yeah, give me
It's a criminal investigation.
Give me just a minute.
Surely they did imaging of it while they were bandaging it for evidence later, right?
He's right here. Going to ask for imaging means I have to get up and ask somebody else.
We're directly in the employ of General Hawk.
And right here or finding someone else to get the pictures when I have the real thing right in front of me.
Okay. My character's not here. My character's shadowing Hawk, whatever.
Yeah, you
my character's doing something she understands.
He does remind you that it is probably a bad idea to expose his wound, but he will happily take you to the photos and the research that was taken. He can pull it up on a terminal for you.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I've got your clearance yet. There's still some background checks.
Why did we leave Sawbones on her own?
He's clearly uncomfortable exposing the wound he just received a few hours ago.
She's like, right, yeah, medical, yeah. Terminals, those are a thing. Yeah.
People
so you're
have
following...
hit points. They are loath to give them up.
Yeah. Especially considering the average hit points of a character in G.I. Joe is around 3 to 6 at level 1.
I only have 4. Or no, hang on. I have 5. Never mind. I'm doing better.
So, yes, you're shadowing General Hawk, and he goes to speak with the director of the medical portion of this facility. General, sir, we don't have a solid reference onto General Colton's condition yet, sir. He's still in surgery. We can... I'd like to say we can remain hopeful, but he is 108, sir. It's unlikely that he'll make it out of this. General Colton has survived a lot. I don't think he's going to be very happy if it turns out he was taken down by some no-good sniper at a cemetery, and Sergeant Savage is going to have so much to say about this after having served with him in World War II.
Use the nanites!
I would throw literally every Joe at this if every Joe wasn't currently dealing with the world being on fire. Yeah, that is a distinct problem, sir. It is. But I can keep you up to date, and I can inform you here. I can have them start redirecting all of your files to the satellite office here if you wish to be nearby, sir. Thank you, Doctor. I will take that under advisement. Fire.
Sir?
I have a special order for you and your team.
Awesome.
I'm going to stay here at this satellite facility. I want you 3 to go meet the security team that is currently investigating at the cemetery. I want you 3 to find out who did this, and I want you to do me one of 2 things. Either bring them to me in chains, or bring me their heads.
Understood, sir. Permission to speak freely, sir.
Yes.
If this attacker's MO is to kidnap military leaders, are you sure you don't want us to stay here with you?
I will put this place on lockdown. We will be armed. we will be here, and I will keep an open line of communication with you and your team. So if something happens, you will hear from me.
And do medical staff in this facility have the same basic training as everyone else who works for G.I. Joe?
Some of us are a little above that because some of us used to serve into the field.
Oh, no disrespect meant, just I haven't been to this facility before.
No worries. It's also been a while. I got taken out of active duty back in the 90s, but I can still take down a Cobra agent pretty well.
Cool. Who am I talking? Is it just like a random med tech in the room?
You know what?
Who am I talking to? Because this isn't Hawk talking to me. It's like,
no,
pity that poor Cobra agent.
This is the medical director of this facility.
Oh, all right.
There really is no let's call it culture history.
I have no additions to my culture rolls, so what am I
Then you would be rolling that with a snag. So you would be rolling 2d20 and taking the lower of the two rolls.
Okay.
Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't realize if you didn't have points in something, the system gives you
2!
automatic disadvantage.
I roll a 2.
Yep.
I need to bring up the electronic dice roller. I forgot. This is why I never use d20s anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, so okay, so the medical director has had field training.
Yeah.
I decipher nothing more.
You don't recognize him, but if you want to ask, he'll tell you.
I look at the name on his name tag.
The name on his name tag is Dr. Abraham. What was your name? It was Dr. Fuck, I forgot. I had it and then it went away. Where are you? You were Dr. There you are. You are currently speaking to Dr. Abraham Fariz.
Oh, so he's Middle East. Does he seem to be of Middle Eastern descent?
Yes.
So
Yes.
mid-90s. I think I could. Well, she can put those together with like normal military history. So.
Well, he was a U.S. citizen at the time. Born and raised here. The accent sounds like he was born and raised here.
Oh no, I'm racist. Okay. Anyway, she'll just sort of nod and
Clocking the lack of recognition. They used to call me Scalpel.
Scalpel. All right. All right, General. If you're confident in lockdown procedures here, then yes, I'll take the team out. Before Sawbones tries to sick nanites on poor General Colton.
Unfortunately, at his age, that would be an ill-advised procedure. He might not actually survive the nanites reworking his insides.
Oh, I know. That's why Sawbones should come with me.
You make it. Sawbones would not, my
You're not
nanites.
here!
So, Sawbones is currently with Doc Sr.
Yeah.
You're about to leave the General. Babylon, who are you calling?
Dasher.
Okay. So you're giving your boy Dasher a ring?
Yeah.
What about Prancer?
Blitzen is someone else entirely, I'm sure.
It's technically Blitzer, not Blitzen. But yeah, so you're giving Dasher a call.
No rude to often reindeer jokes. Got it.
Yeah. What? Whoa! Been a while since I've heard from you.
Yeah. So to catch you up on something that's probably highly classified, somebody utilized a ground bridge to take a shot at General Colton this morning.
Okay. It really sounds like what you just said was somebody was using tech they shouldn't have here to go after a human military official.
That is exactly what I just said.
Okay. That's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
Have has anyone checked in on the prison cells yet? No, wait, they wouldn't have access to ground bridge technology. What am I saying?
No,
You
but
didn't receive any calls about anyone new showing up, did you?
no, but I'm not generally in that chain of command, so
Right. Okay. Tell you what.
you might want to call Teletran 1 and see what's going on.
Yeah, we can't reach Cybertron anymore.
Oh, god damn it.
I knew it!
Ah!
I am not what you think I am. Calm down.
So, tell you what, I'm
But you're
gonna reach out
not.
to
Exactly.
I'm gonna reach out to Phoenix and Lander, because Metal Hawk's busy, and we'll see what we can find out. Because I sure as shit didn't leak this tech to anyone.
Oh, there's a corporation that appears to be using technology that they shouldn't have. I saw a briefing on it this morning.
Okay.
I will give him the name of that corporation.
Are you giving him the name Cyberdyne Industries, or are you giving him Skywatch?
Skywatch, because Cyberdyne's doing something else. I'll give him both names, because it's like, this is technology shouldn't be wandering around.
There's bad and there's worse.
Skywatch, but wait a minute, isn't Skywatch that military R&D organization? The one that helped with with that wraith infestation like 15 years ago?
Probably. I don't pay attention to corporate news.
Not corporate news. They were working with the. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna call everyone else and see if anyone's let anything slip.
Up the Cybertronian phone tree! Because there's a snow day with lasers and assassinations.
Freaking robots.
Activating the Transformer phone tree.
God,
Isn't that just going to like a really old Jeep and pulling out the car phone?
If this were about against chaos, I'd say it would be a shoe phone.
First off, that's racist.
Well, my character's already been racist once today, so...
I don't know Transformers, man. I just thought it was funny.
You're welcome, John.
Fun fact, chat, GM John cannot resist any Transformers reference ever.
I have to fight Megatron.
That you can send nanites after.
If you want, that can be arranged.
I didn't say that!
That being said, I'll do the rounds and see if anyone knows about any tech that may have been unearthed or anything, and I'll get back to you. But yeah, if someone else has landed here and they're or if someone else has gotten access to the tech and they're currently targeting government officials, this could only be a sign of trying to weaken infrastructures on who they deem to be threats. So, you know, watch yourself out there.
What are they going to do? Kill me?
Man, if they have access to the fusion cannon tech, or worse yet, the black hole generator, yeah, they could kill all of us.
But if they've killed all of us, they've killed the planet in the process. And at that point, we gave it a shot.
I mean, that depends on what they're after.
Yeah, I know. We'll go figure this out.
All right, we'll be in touch.
I appreciate that.
And it is, as you're finishing up that call, friendly fire, you are coming by Sawbones.
Yeah, Sawbones is just like doing the enhance image thing and like trying to look at every angle.
And
Kind of
because
like,
this is G.I. Joe tech, you can actually get a clearer picture when you enhance.
Oh, so she's got like a 3D rendering of the crime scene?
Oh yeah, this is 2022 G.I. Joe. They
Yeah.
absolutely have. They absolutely have like the 3D rendering. It's like you can actually enlarge it so much you can actually slide into the wound. It's like,
yeah, no, she's probably doing that like for a minute. She like shrinks it, puts it on Doc's arm just to take a look, and then like blows it back up and like goes in and it's like studying the internal musculature.
Oh no,
and everything around it.
It's of his wound, not of the crime scene.
Yeah.
Because I would understand the crime scene.
Yeah, crime scene stuff is still being
rendered
and categorized by the field team.
Yeah,
Right.
no, she's just looking at it, trying to gauge, like she's basically trying to corner it, like trying to like check like the velocity and all that to see if she can get like as much as she can off of it. She's aware this is tech that she probably has never seen with Cobra or at her time at Joe, but she's trying to get at least a rough understanding of it and how it works on the human body.
What kind of laser?
Lasers. Pew pew.
Hey Sawbones. Where's Babylon?
Outside making a call. What? Hang on. Pokes her head back on. Babylon outside making a call. Outside making a call.
Okay.
She looks, probably sees Butler in the corner. I told you to go with him.
Hawk wants us to track down the perps.
Yeah, but like
And deal
he's
with him.
scary when he tells me to stand in the corner, and like I feel like he could rip me in half.
Now he's southern.
So like,
okay.
So like I'm too pretty to be torn in half.
I knew I should have programmed you a sentence. Goes back in.
She's just gonna let Sawbones render, and wait for Babylon to come back.
She's assuming Babylon will come back in and be all super dark and broody and mysterious as he normally is. And
so Babylon, you finish your phone call and you come back in and you see Friendly Fire talking to Sawbones and Doc while looking at the 3D renderings.
I kind of lean over to the Doc very quietly. Don't let her use the nanites on you.
Yeah, no, I was already classified as nanite incompatible.
you know, I don't throw nanites at everything.
She's only saying this because she knows Sawbones is busy looking at pictures of tissue samples.
But Sawbones also has the alert
world.
feat, so can't be surprised. I don't know if this would count as surprise, though. But I would assume she's aware of, like, conversation. If she hears nanites, this is probably a conversation they've had before.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't throw nanites at everything. They're a very useful tool in, like, eliminating cancer and, you know, other things like that.
Hey, Babylon, we're going hunting. General Hawk's orders.
Okay.
It's in the middle of a sentence.
He wants us to find out who did this and bring them back to him either in chains or just their heads. We'll see where the afternoon takes us. Or morning. Is it afternoon?
Did you happen to get those in writing, or...
Do I need them in writing when it's General Hawk?
No.
When he says he wants heads, I would like that in writing so that it's not a criminal act when I bring somebody's head in a box.
No.
Technically,
He said it to me directly under many cameras and in front of very much medical staff, including a doctor's scalpel.
I realize that you are new at this, but in the future, if you get an order that sounds like, hey, I want you to go rip off somebody's head and bring it to me, you might want to get that in writing.
Well, then let's bring him to him in chains and be on the safe side.
You know, theoretically, you could keep the head alive if you had the right...
We know,
technology.
Sawbones, we know. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
Duck.
You three are able to access
Also
a somewhat normal for G.I. Joe transportation vehicle for functioning within the city, as many of the satellite facilities tend to have very few of the, you know, cars with rocket launchers strapped to the front and like 4 lasers strapped to the front. This one looks very much like just like an old M1 Hummer Jeep, but does have yes.
Before we
That's the
go, Friendly Fire would like to, take a good look at the hospital location and make sure that it can be locked down properly.
Oh yeah, it can.
Okay.
It's built along the same designs as a lot of other GI Joe satellite facilities. So locking it down for safety reasons is not very hard to do. There's reinforced walls.
Okay.
These things are just protect from Cobra assaults because they learned their lesson from the last time Cobra got in the pit.
So, and we have a direct line of communication with General Hawk?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sure Hawk has a back channel into Butler or something at the worst.
I mean, Grand Slam might, but maybe not Hawk. Hawk's not a super tech savvy guy. Like,
Yeah, so
That's fair.
he can use a rocket pack if he gets his hands on it. Don't ask him to build one.
Yeah, so Babs, we have a direct line of communication. If you want him to reinforce if you want to double check about the heads, you can just ask him.
There's the keys.
I can later, but it's still a moment of
Spins the keys around on her finger.
I
Right,
mean,
we're going.
let's see, they grave robbed an
General Flag.
ally on the date of the anniversary of his death while they were going to mourn him.
And shot the old guy.
If they didn't intend for it to be personal, it is now personal anyway.
And theoretically, they could potentially, depending on how the surgery go. I know he's right. Cheeky bugger.
He was also General Colton is still in surgery, so this is.
Oh, before we leave, I will tell the doc to take that thing out of the secure vault, and if General Colton needs it, to go ahead and give General Colton the transfusion. I'll fill it back up when I get back.
I don't know. Friendly Fire does not care. Just let's go hunt some bad guys.
Well, Sawbones is already walking right. Fennec has a lot of questions.
And you are free to ask him those questions.
What
So
are
who's
you?
driving?
I got a
No,
dot
you know
to
what?
drive.
You don't need to make a driving check. You're not doing any combat maneuvers at this point, so.
But we could be.
I've got a dot to
Want
drive.
to be making combat maneuvers as you go through the streets of DC?
Are
Me, no.
we
I'm in the
gonna
passenger.
Nick Fury it? Just like
Only when we have to.
with Maria Fury and okay. But Sawbones will go to reach for the keys if no one stops her.
Yeah. All right. So Sawbones drives. Babylon's in the in shotgun, and Friendly Fire, I guess, takes the back seat for firing at anyone following.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right.
I
I'm
like it.
keeping an eye out for, anyone maybe predicting us happening to them.
Okay.
Sawbones will, because every time we turn the car on, the radio turns on. She just flips it off because she works with Friendly Fire enough.
Friendly Fire is still just kind of like, but why would they do this on the day of he died unless it was specifically a personal attack? Like, she's still like, this makes no sense.
Well,
but then she's hanging out with Sawbones, who routinely does not make sense, and Babylon, who wouldn't make sense if he talked more, and she's just like, okay.
Well, Sawbones will be
Freaking
thinking
lot.
out loud as she's driving. So, alright, looking at everything on... Would I have to make a medicine check to see, like, what kind of damage and, like, to figure out? Or would that be a technology check on, like...
I'll say in this instance, you don't really need to. The wounds were cauterized as if by laser fire.
Okay, so they still are standard laser. Okay.
Yeah.
But just different color.
Yeah, except
Wait,
purple.
it's purple. So,
I'm sorry, what?
they're purple lasers, which is really weird, because in all my years with Cobra, we never used that. And then,
I'll send a text to Dasher.
What the fuck, purple laser?
No.
Oh,
purple,
I got it.
Update, purple laser.
I got it.
and the Iron Army? Iron Curtain?
Iron
Iron
Army.
Like, Iron Army just sticks with the red that Cobra has, and same with the other one. So, it's a new player on the scene, it seems like. But then again, if they're a new player on the scene, why go after Joe? And like you said, on the day that the remembrance of, some, I don't know, he was very important, I know that much, dying, and everybody's all torn up about it.
General Flag? Yeah, General Flag was a good guy.
But I never met the man, but I believe you. He seems
General
like
Flag-
he deserves sainthood.
Sawbones, he's someone that G.I. Joe is still mourning 22 years after his demise. Like, it's...
Again,
like, I don't
if I-
always understand what's going on, but I can read context clues.
I got that. I'm just saying, if the man is mourned this long after, he sounds like he deserves a sainthood or something. But could it be someone in Flag's past, maybe, that,
That's what I'm wondering, because, like, it's just... Like, if they wanted to do something like this efficiently and get away with it, they wouldn't have picked today.
Or they would have done it very early in the morning
Well,
and not stuck around as an ambush.
Well, no, it was 07:30. It was very early in the morning.
Okay, but I'm thinking like dead of night, like 2 a.m.
Well, Major Blood, the last I checked, is currently still operating as a Cobra officer.
He is one of the few Cobra high commanders who is not currently bucking for the position of Cobra commander. He is currently serving underneath the Baroness.
Yeah, he's a bootlicker, which is probably great for the Baroness.
I mean, Cobra being all ridiculous right now, like, I'm sure one of them in their ridiculous power grab, if someone had assassinated General Colton...
Oh, there'd be news.
Then,
they'd be blabbering about it.
they'd be, that would just be part of their nonsensical street cred. But then why steal the body?
Well, they didn't steal the body; they desecrated it. They didn't take
the body
They
was
exhumed it.
taken.
Yeah.
The body was their grave empty.
Yeah, it was
Which is
exhumed.
why Sawbones asked, like, doctor to doctor, how long? Because that's why she put in her head.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always the possibility of zombies, but that's a little far. You know what?
Zombies?
Given who
What
I'm
are you,
working
high?
for, all possibilities at this point.
Is there something to shoot yet?
Right. Anyways, point is this is just weird and getting weirder, and it doesn't seem like the major three are a part of it. Or, I don't know, maybe the jugglers had something to do with it since they're trying to get rid of us.
Unless one of our standard problem groups have just upgraded their weapons to purple? I mean, as at the same time as the jugglers just got expertly lobbied to replace us all with really expensive frickin' robots.
That shouldn't be possible because nuclear fission on that level and that size is very expensive.
Wait, they have nuclear reactors in them?
Well, the first ones
the
did.
Cyberdyne.
I don't know about the other one. They just looked wrong. Like, I don't think robots are supposed to move that way. No offense, Butler, but I didn't quite program you to turn into something else.
Turn into something?
They're drones.
Nothing in those plans suggested that they transformed.
Oh, okay, sorry, I misunderstood.
I'm saying, as far as images, when you looked at them, they basically looked like the vehicle modes of the drones of Jetstorm, Tankor, and Thrust. There was nothing in the...
Gotcha. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's just the way with our robotics is right now, I mean, it seems a little too clean, a little too advanced.
Okay, so they're stealing someone else. So they're stealing extraterrestrial tech.
I mean, well, Babylon's the man with the connection on that. You'd have to ask him. Takes a turn a little too quick. Sorry.
Is there something to shoot?
Would you quit bouncing Butler around the backseat of this car?
Butler hovers.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that makes the car not safe.
My boba
When
tea!
you start making rapid turns.
Did you just say my boba tea?
Yes.
How did she get boba tea again? I don't know.
At this point...
Is there something to shoot yet? Anyway, our alarm went off for our 10-minute break.
Okay, then.
Chris figured out what purple lasers might mean, but yeah.
I don't. I've never played in... yeah.
So we'll call it for the 10-minute break just as you all are pulling up to the memorial cemetery and can see several several Joe field agents currently examining things, as well as coming across a woman in her early 30s, dressed in a red blazer with black slacks. And when she turns around, it's not hard for all of you to identify her. You've seen her around before. She is nominally a member of Ninja Force. Her call sign is Jinx.
Oh, that's not good.
And she seems to be heading this particular division of what's going on.
Is it not good because she doesn't like you, or because she's in the Ninja Corps?
Ninjas.
Nobody really likes me. I hate to break this to you, except for Joe and Clayton.
I mean, I don't dislike you.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you don't talk during movies.
I don't go to movies.
Well, come to movie night then.
No, I like being in a team where there isn't a movie night, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just here to work. Maybe I'm happy to see Jinx, I don't know. Anyway, chat, so this is where we will take a 10-minute break. So go get you a drink or some snacks or some instant ramen. And we will, I guess, see you in 10 minutes for whatever the Ninja Corps is about to do to us. Bye!
See you in a bit.
Oh, hi, chat. We're back in actually 10 minutes this time because I remembered to set the alarm. This is Magic Fish Radio, and we do tabletop RPG streams on Tuesdays and Saturdays. We have a whole bunch of stuff that you could buy with channel points, including rerolls, which go into a pool for all the players, story points, which you have to specify which player or character gets it before you hit send, or you claim the reward, and also Joe Debrief, where we have to stop the action and our character has to do a 1-minute monologue of something that's going on or not, in the case of my character, who is constantly thinking about things that are not here because there's nothing to shoot at here. Yep. And we are playing G.I. Joe Relics of War, where General Hawk just told us to go find the heads, or put them in chains, whoever it was tried to assassinate General Colton while he was in next to General Flagg's grave mourning him on the day of his death. Wow, these are some ballsy bad guys. Unless that was the plan, to piss everyone off. Join our Discord, where the things I say make sense, because I can edit them after I put them out there. Woohoo! And also, Tuesday nights is when we do a series of short campaigns, so if you would like to stream with us on Tuesdays or Saturday nights, join our Discord and then fill out the application form to stream with us, because we're chill. We can't pay anybody, but we are fun, I think. People keep telling me we're fun. Yay! Ma'am, where were the snipers? Or there was laser fire? But do they match the signatures of any energy weapons we are familiar with? Hey, Sawbones, why don't you go look at the radiation spike? So... So, what else have you found? Hmm. Hmm. Alright. Has anyone found any tracks leading away from the scene, or are we assuming jetpacks? Alright. Hmm. Hmm. Alright, friendly fire. It doesn't look like they've taped it off with caution tape everything, or people still... Dressed as... Alright. May I take a look at the crime scene? Or do you need me to stay off it? Mm. Yes. Hmm. Yeah, I can't help but think someone's definitely trying to send a message, but for whatever reason it's not Cobra, which makes no sense. True, that too. It's just... Huh. Alright. I'll take a look around and let you know if I find anything additionally, but... Yep. That is General Hawk's intention on sending us hunting. Sounds like fun. Alright. And Friendly Fire will gingerly walk towards the crime scene to get a closer look at, like, the laser scoring. Because, most of what she does is bullets and ordnance, but, you know, purple lasers, not red. Do they seem like they did more damage than red lasers? Or... Especially now that she knows what the range was. And what do I roll? I'm not good at a whole lot of things. I'm good at... Ooh. Yay for electronic dice. So that's... Sorry, No, it's okay. Okay, so targeting, I just roll a d20 and a d8. I have shotguns, but that was obviously taken more shooting them. Yeah. Yeah, and my roll perks are not really thinking based. Checkered, martial... Okay, so I rolled a 23. I rolled the max on my d8. Oh, okay. I remember this. That means something, right? Okay. Lasers. How quaint. Oh shit. Okay. Are there any more casualties outlined than just the two we know about, which was Doc and Colton? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just, Hey Sawbones, I'm looking at the carbon scoring, and the laser went through several headstones from, you said 100 feet away? Or no. Okay. Yeah, they're... Yeah. So even at 1,500 feet, this would have to have a massive power source. Actually, I've looped in the whole team. This would have to have a massive power source attached to it, much bigger than what Joe's and Cobra are accustomed to using. Yeah. So either you still have to be accurate. But in terms of lasers, it's not a matter of a larger bullet, it's a matter of a larger power source, which is disturbing. So either Cobra, one of our old buddies is upgrading, or this is someone new, which makes it even more confusing as to the hit. Unless this is them trying to make a statement to G.I. Joe saying, hi, we're here to fuck you up. Let's hit you. Let's hit you as low a blow as we can think of. Which means they're also morons. Yeah. I dare say it's probably scuttlebutt around that friendly fire is technically ex-Cobra, but not like willing Cobra. There's like, you don't have all the pieces, it doesn't quite fit. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it just, this doesn't... Yeah, Jinx was saying, like, this doesn't seem like Cobra. Also, like, Jinx, added that, they would have kept firing. So, Colton and Doc would be dead if it were Cobra. Or far worse, injured. Or kidnapped. Whatever the fuck was going on. I just... Except that, like... So... They steal the... Whoever it is steals the body. And then doesn't kill the people who come in to look for it. What... Yeah, that too. Yeah. Were they just stopping them from following them? But then, like, if they wanted to get away with this shit, why would they do it on the anniversary when people are guaranteed to show up? It's... Well, I mean, we're military. That's... Yeah. Yeah, I'm basically, while we're having this conversation, I think I'm walking towards Sawbones, where that area is. Well, they got the body. The whole body. But why would they have to leave unless they were being attacked by someone other than Doc and the General? Because they were the only people there, and they didn't see anyone else on the... Well, I mean, they did get shot a bunch, so they might not have been paying attention. Do you think they might have been attacked by someone else while they were here? I'm almost there. Let me see if I can... If we can... I mean, they've already been searching. They would have found more laser holes in the trees over there, right? Bullet holes. Yeah. Babylon, is that the radiation spikes behind the line of fire? Do you think they got away with something more more advanced than one of our jetpacks? Because that was my first thought. When tracks just stop, it means someone started to fly. Can we do... Okay. Cobra can teleport. Okay, yeah, because we would have a record of that energy signature. Babylon, what's a ground bridge? Like to another planet, or across a planet? Okay. So it's a portable hole from a cartoon. It opens in one place and goes wherever you want it to go. So it's like a teleport, but a tunnel. Okay. And Cobra has that? Okay, so do the people who have this kind of technology also have lasers powerful enough to be purple and punch through rocks at range? Okay. Can you tell us who who this organization is? So they're like So they're like mercenaries? Yep, purple lasers. Chris called it. Friendly fire has no idea. Given we just had a meeting about space robots. That Chris picked at friendly fire has no idea. So, Babylon, if we trace that signature to wherever the tunnel opened, do these folks have heads? Would they be easily removed, or do we have more giant lasers to fight? Okay, so we know. Hunting. I don't. Can that be reopened? Okay. But we could also trace it through, like, radiation tracing and then just go and not deal with weird advanced technology. Mm-hmm. Babylon, who are they? Can you be more specific? We know a lot of those. Space robots! Babylon, I can only imagine what you'd be afraid to talk about with other Joes. But we do have orders to bring them in. So if you don't want to tell us, you're gonna have to tell Hawk if that's not possible. Yeah, okay. Like you bigger, or like bigger than you? Cyborgs. So... So... War robots. Like in the meeting we were just at. Well, not the same, but like, so what if this shit wasn't about the anniversary, but about the meeting we were just at? But that still doesn't explain body snatching, or that doesn't explain grave robbing, unless they really wanted to send us a message to stop, but this isn't going to stop the jugglers. This is going to make G.I. Joe very, very angry. True, and get war robots of our own. Alright, that actually makes a lot more sense now. Yep. Pleased. Bait. For us to pursue you? You personally. Is this have something to do... Who was? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, he looks 20. But I also know who Sergeant Slaughter is. And he doesn't look his age either. Oh, Sergeant Savage, sorry. Yeah. Babylon, did you get weirdly scienced like Savage did? I'm just gonna ask, because I'm tired of dancing around this issue. And when did it achieve that form? Based on the Gregorian calendar. I mean, yeah, you're called Babylon. I thought you were just a nerd, but apparently not. I did see that show, but anyway. Okay, so, and this would explain how you know about robots from space, is that you've been around maybe longer than we've realized what robots were. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this... And sometimes that spills out over onto Earth. Well, look at what we thought would happen when Cobra went into a power vacuum. I don't take anything for granted like that anymore. There's just a screech going on. My thesis! My next thesis! Hello. We don't mean Dragon Con. Yeah, we're in DC. I'm not on the school. So, Babylon. I think at this point, friendly fire is at the forest line, and it's so like. So I think she'll getting quiet and just like. So this isn't a new player in town. This is a very old one. Well, at least you're telling us. At least you're telling us that. So at least I know these things now. Okay. Space robot. Like robot monsters? You? Okay. Mm. Oh, God. Okay. More. The higher number. More than 3. Okay. So this is bait for you. So this is they're baiting you to lead them to the boxes, or okay. So these are not those monsters, but aliens that want them back. And the lasers that shut up that graveyard a few thousand feet away, those are their pea shooters. So okay. All right. I mean, it's an excellent play. I'm not even convinced he's telling us everything, but okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, he's 7 feet tall. Like, they make them that big, though, right? Sawbones, how about we focus on fighting? Okay, because we will have to probably fight great big alien robots. Sawbones, Savage was scienced to be very long-lived and slept in a cold box. Like, shit happens. People are way older than they look. I've stopped questioning it. I get it. You have to question it, but we can't question it right now. Babylon's really old. Let's just deal with it. Well, he's human. You're human, so EMPs won't hurt you, right? That was not a yes. Well, I guess if Babylon doesn't want to have to deal with your medical intervention, he needs to disclose to you whether or not an EMP will hurt him. Cause I don't have any first aid training, Babylon, so it's all on Sawbones. At this point, can I go look at the footprints to get a sense of how many different footprints there are? So maybe how many giant robots I will have to figure out how to shoot. 2 shooters. And about... And can I judge, like, you know, based on just what I know of, like, mech suits? The size of the footprint to how tall one might be? Funny that. Dude likes his robots. Okay. Hi. We're very difficult to get rid of, so... Oh, we're breaching a whole bunch of protocol right now. or rather, bait him out. We have no idea still exactly what's going on. Yeah, we Sawbones, be quiet. So, but they did hit some of our high military commanders, so we have been ordered to bring them in, dead or hot or cold. Cold or cold, yeah. So, I don't know if Babylon, do we have enough firepower to just jaunt over there and take him out? Because I'm not convinced that we do. And I know like 5% of what's going on. I just need to know what I need to know to perform my duties and carry out my general's orders. I do not need the rest of the history or top secret stuff. I just want to do my job. If these dudes are 8 feet tall, I'm not sure I can use a gun built for an 8-foot tall person. I don't know what I'm looking at. If that were a mech suit, it would be an 8-foot tall person. That's tomorrow's problem. Do you want to come? No, I don't. Where are those guys? Alright. You're the one with the knowledge of this, whatever it is. So, you're gonna have to take point on this. Sorry. Well... My thesis! Actually, wait, I'm the door kicker. Don't I usually go in for... Oh, no, but you're the Vanguard armor guy, so... Yeah. And well, it's kick door, throw grenade, and then the Vanguard goes in. I'm gonna... Oh no, we time traveled. We time traveled. I did not bring enough ammo for this. So I just wrote down, note to self, how much does General Hawk know about the space robots? And if I'm good at it, can I start hunting space robots? Yeah. So I, John is not unknown. John has certainly pulled switcheroos before. I will not be upset if this G.I. Joe game is actually a Transformers game, so long as I can still shoot them effectively. That I would be fine with, so long as it's not, Alien Take Two, but with space robots instead of xenomorphs. There's a way we can actually apply ourselves to the situation and fix it. Okay. So they did steal the body of our general to sucker us into the future where we could help? No? Okay, I don't know what's happening. My character didn't get to yeah. My character didn't get to shoot anything all episode, so... She's had a lot of practice not shooting at sawbones. we decided in break that most of what Friendly Fire is used to doing is Sawbones will be doing something science-y in a war zone, and Friendly Fire will be making sure Sawbones does not get shot while sciencing. Which is also why Friendly Fire is like, go look, be absorbed by tissue holograms, and leave me alone. Go be distracted. He tries to bake. Friendly Fire's just like, I don't understand Joe's. I don't. I'm sorry, here are some half-baked cookies. And a small EMP, which is not half-baked. Yeah. Well, Friendly Fire didn't ask her to bake. She just... Friendly Fire is... We're like the most dysfunctional team ever. But not on duty, so we don't see it. Yeah. Probably. The 1980s. So chat, this is G.I. Joe Relics of War, and by Relics of War I guess we mean Transformers or Decepticons. So that mystery has been unraveled. And yeah, John, I don't mind a switcheroo game so long as I can still shoot at the switcheroo and win. Assuming my character is the shooty kind. I feel like I should have... Yeah. I feel like I should have seen this coming, though. Like... Well, no, I mean the switcheroo... I mean the fact that this is a Transformers game surprise. Matt, you know, with the G.I. Joe skin. Like, that I should have realized. No, now it's space robots. It was DM. So, yes, chat. This is Magic Fish Radio, where we are often playing other tabletop games in disguise. Maybe we should name that the Tuesday night slot. Campaigns in disguise. You don't know. We'll say what we think it's going to be, or the channel producer will say what she thinks it's going to be, and then we all just have to be surprised. And, okay. This is me being happy annoyed, though. It's a New York thing. We can do that. I'm annoyed because I'm happy. So yeah, chat, Magic Fish Radio, join our Discord and fetch or squee with us on our Discord about tonight's interesting events. And on so yeah, Tuesday night games, we have this for 2 more sessions, and then Anime 5e, and then 4 episodes of that, and then Star Wars, and then 4 episodes of that. And if you're interested in streaming these games with any of us, or streaming any of these games with us, join our Discord and fill out the application form. and then, you know, we'll vet you, and, you know, it helps if you have some kind of an online presence so we can vibe check you. Otherwise, definitely join the Discord so we can vibe check you in live time. I don't know. I've had a rough day in real time. I've had a weird day. Yes. So yeah. Oh, that's our other New Yorker. Yep, I know that siren too. Womp womp. Decepticons, womp womp. So yeah, join the Discord. Also, so Saturday, I'm running Exit to Eden and possibly a mass combat with thousands of participants on both sides, and I'm still figuring that out. So yeah. If anyone has any more suggestions on resources I could draw from for trying to figure that shit out, put it on our Discord. Under all the TTRPGs. You did. I haven't looked at all of them because the brain fog started to clear today. We'll see if this continues tomorrow, but I probably have already jinxed it. Personally, I am at Ms. Chrysala on all the social medias. And I keep trying to do things in other channels, but keep getting not cast. So if and when I am, it will be announced there, and probably also on the Discord because I run it. Although we allow for a lot of cross-posting on our Discord, so long as it doesn't conflict with our schedule. So yeah, come back on Saturday for Exit to Eden, a new World of Darkness in space with a massive mass combat as our mixed bag of supernatural players are going to try and fight Magaths and a Maelgen while some mages try to close a wound that is linked to the abyss, and it's a whole thing. Yes, you'll see how. Where is that from? I forget. Oh, I have not seen that yet. I mean, there's no other way for that line to end in a movie. Oh, it's the game? Okay. I got confused. Okay, so I don't have to look for a movie, I have to look for someone playing it on Twitch as a bot. Which I like doing. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, join our Discord. And with that, I'm gonna go look for someone to raid. I am up for things I don't have to organize or run. What? I mean, we know he's a changeling, and that just sort of hand waves a lot. Especially a lost changeling. It's like, we don't know. The True Fate tournament is something. And we know he's a shapeshifter. Make Kitten happy. Make Samus happy. Well, if he doesn't... Which means either Babylon has to go along with it or actually tell us what's going on. Time travel. Whoops. Alright, so we are going to raid Total Party Chill, who are doing... I was just looking at it. They are doing Dungeons and Dragons. Woo! Dungeons and... Yep. Okay, hold on, it's saying invalid username. Whoops. I copy, I paste. Sorry, chat. Okay. Well, sometimes we run one-shots on Saturdays when any of us has the spoons, but it's been a rough summer. Anyway, now we are raiding Total Party Chill. Chat, yes, come hang out with us. We are fun and distracting and adorable, and maybe next week we'll shoot things. Maybe Saturday someone will shoot things. We'll see. Until we see... Woohoo! Until we see you next time, please take care of yourselves, please take care of each other, and please Diablerize responsibly. Bye!